Guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we've got some brilliant product to show you. We've got the Mizuno Pro range, new for 2024, but before we get into it, remember to hit that subscribe button and tell all your golfing friends. So we have got 3 new models here today to show you from Mizuno. So we've got the 241, the 243 and the 245, and today we are going to put to test the 245. So this is Mizuno's hollow back construction. It is one of those irons that has its predecessor performed brilliantly. It was the most popular Mizuno iron through Europe. So this is going to be a tough one against the previous model. But the thing with one of these irons is when you look at the 245, and I think this is one of the things that is not well known for, is that it looks like a blade, and that sometimes puts the golfer off. It doesn't look like it's that forgiving. It doesn't look like you're going to be, if you're off 10, 12, 15, you might want to hit it. But the thing with this is it's hollow. All the tech, all the forgiveness is inside the head. You don't get to see it. And what Mizuno have done this year by hanging a little bit of tungsten, it allows them to control the center of gravity to make sure you get the perfect ball flight. So let's get this on Trackman and let's see how the 245 performs. So we're in the Trackman bay, and today we've come into our Cambridge store and I've got the 245 in my hand. So I've decided to just change up the shaft a little bit for me. I've got the Dynamic Gold 120 S300 in here, a little bit longer. I've got it that inch longer than standard as well for me, which is about where I normally sit. So 245, well, what does it look like? Well, it looks a little bit more compact than the previous model. It looks a little bit, whether it looks toe to heel, looks a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter as an iron. One of the things they do really well with this iron is they make the top edge a little bit thicker. Not too thick to put you off and not called chunky, let's not call it that, but it definitely gives you that little bit more forgiveness. So 245 is their hot iron. It's the one that you're going to get most ball speed out of. 7 iron is sitting in at 30 degrees, so it's going to be nice and strong. It's in the stronger lofted, not like some of these other ones, however, that are at 27. So let's clip a few and see. And I think what's nice on that cold morning is to hit one right out the bottom of the face so we didn't feel the fingers. Let's hit another one straight away. Just feels powerful. Feels really good, that. We've got some numbers there. 93 clubhead speed. What are we looking at? Ball speed's pretty solid off there, 120. 121 ball speed, which is great. And nice amount of spin. So nice amount of carry, 170. Mizuno really spoil us. They put some real good irons together, and when they bring out the Pro range, oh wow, did you just hear that? I hope you got that on camera. I mean, the feeling of this thing, it's so forgiving and so fast off the face, but yet it oozes that classy Mizuno feel. It's one of those irons that if you could get it in people's hands more often and you could kind of get them away from this worry that the back, when it sits on the rack like that it is a blade, that they would absolutely really enjoy hitting. They have a long set. They even do a 2 iron in this. So the 2 iron through to the 7 iron have the suspended tungsten in the back of the head, so that's helping control the ball flight. And in the short irons it gets less and less, all the way through to almost like a full bladed feeling club, so less hollow if you like. What's great about that is that you're definitely going to control the flight and the distance in those shorter irons, but you're not going to lose any ball speed off the longer irons. I mean, just beautiful as an iron to hit. You can see why the previous model was Mizuno's most popular iron around Europe. Definitely can see that. I actually am not too put off by that thicker top edge. I think the look of that is quite classy. It frames the ball, you know, I like how the ball frames. It's quite important to me as a golfer, so it frames the ball quite nicely as well without being too chunky, too sort of ugly. It just gives you confidence and it just looks beautiful from the top. Oh, it's a bit of forgiveness in there as well. A little bit thin, that one. We'll have a little look at the numbers. Oh no. Dreadful. Dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. So let's see if we can get one out the middle. Much better. Lovely flight to it. You know, you don't feel like you're going to lose distance. 30 degrees is, like I say, with the 7 iron is on the edge of being strong. However, with some irons now, some 7 irons now at 27 degrees, it's still weaker than most. What is great with this iron, and what is sort of misunderstood for that guy that maybe is the other side, so the lower handicapper, is that they can, and we've seen this through the build sets that Rob in the build centre has built in the previous models, is they like to put 245 or the previous model in the longer iron, so 3, 4, 5, 6 iron, and then combine that with the 241 as it would be now in the blade. So you can actually, because the look of it and the back looks so solid and so similar, sorry, you can actually combo this set really, really nicely. So overall, I think this iron is going to be one of the most popular irons of 2024. If you like a forged feel, if you like to get really good feedback from an iron, you've got to put, if you want an iron that's hot but not uncontrollable, should we call it that? I think that's a good way of putting it. Then you need to test this 245. It is such a good looking iron. Oh wow, I could hit this all day. Badly, but I could hit it. Okay, one more, let's hit one more there. And then let's give it the wonderful AFGolfStore. Bit thin again, but you still, even with that thin result, you still get that nice bit of consistency. You still get that little bit of getting away with one off the bottom of the face. The numbers we'll have a look at in a second, but overall, 245 is going to be a winner for 2024. So 245, let's give it the AFGolfStore. We're going to start with that look. Well, it doesn't look any better than that, does it? From the top edge, they've really done a nice job of making you feel and kind of tease you with forgiveness on that top line, but yet just still looks classic and classy. At the back, there is no better iron. Clean, simple, would look great in any golfer's bag, I think. So from a look perspective, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Feel, nothing feels like a Mizuno, as they say, and I can't disagree with them. It just feels so good. Even with those really horrible thin strikes, it doesn't feel that bad. When I middled a couple in there, it was a lovely, lovely feel off the face. You feel like you've got control of the golf ball. Even though this has got good ball speeds, what you're not going to get from this iron is a jumper. You're not going to get something that's uncontrollable, and that just, from a golfer's perspective, I think that just breeds confidence. So from a feel perspective, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 as well. So we started off strong with Mizuno. Custom build. Well, obviously we know we build them, and Mizuno custom options are fantastic. It's what they're known for. I don't think you're going to find a better product or a better brand in terms of the amount of options available in shafts and grips. So again, I'm going to give them, the only thing I would say, actually, I'm just thinking here, I think the only thing that I would say, and I'd like Mizuno to do a little bit better with, is I'd like them to do a bit better with graphite. I think that they normally only have 1 or 2 options in graphite, and I think the golfer nowadays is looking at a graphite shaft and thinking, do you know what, I want to try a few different options with LA Golf and things like that available. So I think they could do a little bit better with graphite. Obviously we can put whatever you want in it, but I think they could do a little bit better. So I'm going to just knock them down a little bit there, and I'm going to give them a 7 out of 10. In terms of price, well, these things are not cheap. They are expensive. They're going to be upward of £200 a stick. We know that. Depending on the specs you want to go with, they're expensive. So I can't really give them a high mark. It's great product, it's quality product, but it's not cheap product. And it shouldn't be, because it's so good. but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think value for money, I can see there is value in this product, but it is expensive. Performance, overall performance. Well, overall, 245 I think is going to be up there with some of the other brands that I've tested, some of the other models that sit in this category. If you look at something like a P770 or P790 that this might kind of go against, I think you're going to see this iron compete. T200, again, you might see this against this iron. I think you're going to see 245 is definitely an iron that's going to perform very, very well. And it's going to maybe come down to that individual preference of each player to what they like and what they don't like. I don't think that one's better than the other. I just think it's going to be a really tough category with you've got T200 and you've got that P790 in there. So overall, performance-wise, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. So Mizuno 245 iron has started 2024 with an AF Golf score of 40 out of 50. Guys, I hope that was helpful, that quick review on the 245 from Mizuno, but don't go anywhere because we're about to go and test, and the next video will be the 243. But before you head over to that video, please hit that subscribe button and tell all your golfing friends.